Hello guys, welcome to the first of my silent top 10 videos. I know this is a bit different from my regular content, but I started getting back into playing Injustice 2, so I figured I would make a video of some characters that I would like to see within Injustice 3. So some of this criteria I am thinking of when I made this list is like how popular the character is, how the gear would look, how the character would look as like a base design, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy these new videos. And tell me in the comments down below who would you like to see in Injustice 3 and why. And without any further ado, let's get on to it. Starting off at number 10, we have Clayface. Now, Clayface would be a very interesting character because he can shapeshift and do different shapes out of the clay and all that, which would make his gameplay like very unique compared to other characters. His playstyle could include a bit of zoning with like throwing his clay like from across the screen, or he could do like a similar start to combos like Firestorm does with the how similar to Firestorm. Firestorm can do the molten lava trap. Clayface can do like a Clayface trap or something like a clay trap. Um, as far as actual shaders, I don't think he would have too many just because of the fact there's only like certain shades of brown that are available. I think what would be cool with Clayface is like the gear and stuff, because you could do like a spiky kind of like rigid Clayface, or like one based off like the animated series, or like maybe Arkham City, or whatever. Really, I mean, there's a lot of potential for him, and yeah, I think NetherRealm could definitely pull it off within Injustice 3. So we'll see what happens. I definitely think he has a good chance. Ever since he first appeared on The Flash back in Season 2, I just think he's a very cool character and definitely worth being put in Injustice 3. His gear could range anywhere from the Flash TV show to the classic one, with the like the hammerhead look for the head, back in the like the old comic books, kind of like the one of the picture I showed earlier. Um, he's definitely one of the biggest Suicide Squad members, I'd say. I'm just surprised he's never been in a game yet, considering how much of the Suicide Squad we've seen in the Injustice franchise. So I just think he would be a popular Suicide Squad member to add. Also, I think he would be like a Bane type of character, or a big character like Bane or Grodd, similar like that, and he would kind of play like them too. Um, Maybe have some more water-based moves, though, instead of the just traditional fighting stuff. But I think he's gotten a lot more popular due to the him being in the Flash TV show and the Harley Quinn show, and I think overall he's a very solid character. And I mean, some stuff for his gear. What they could do is they could do the Assault on Arkham design, which has that really cool mouthpiece. So I mean, there's a lot they could choose from. So hopefully he will be in Injustice 3, so we can see what all NetherRealm could do with the character. Ever since Injustice 1, we've always had those stage transitions. And in Injustice 1, there was one with Killer Croc in it. And typically what NetherRealm seems to do with these is they put a lot of the stage transition characters or the background characters inside of the next game. And they did that with like Darkseid, Atom, Deadshot. I think that was it. Anyway, they've done that twice now with Killer Croc. And he was in the first game as a Arkham stage transition, and he was in the second game as the Batcave stage transition. And for some reason, we have not gotten him yet. Now, I don't know why we haven't, but we just haven't for some reason. There's a lot of really cool designs that they could use. I really liked the one from Injustice 2, like the stage transition part. I like the Arkham Killer Croc. I really like the skin too for Baraka they did with an MK11. That Killer Croc design was really cool. I know it really wasn't Killer Croc, but that was a really cool design. They could do something like that. Um, Once again, he would play like the kind of like big heavy hit type, like Bane or Darkseid or whatever. And oh, another look too that would look good would be the animated series one that's it's like all gray. I don't know. I mean, I think he's a really good character. I think he would be really fun to play as within Injustice 3, and I think he deserves to be put in the game, especially since he's been teased like twice now. So, in Injustice 2, in case you don't know, Supergirl was put in as a playable character for the first time. I would like to see Superboy, specifically the Jonathan Kent version, which is the version of Superboy that is Superman's biological son, unlike the Connor Kent version, which Connor Kent is the clone of Superman. Um, I would like to see him because it continues the Superman family, and we get to see more of that and kind of dive into that. I also think that there are many cool gear opportunities for him. They could give us a Young Justice Superboy premiere skin, like the Connor Kent version from Young Justice, or like the Titans one, how that one was based off of Connor Kent. I think they could do some really cool animations for his moveset to make him like stand out from Supergirl and Superman. And I definitely think it would be really cool to see the Rebirth design, like the one I showed in the picture. And I think that he would have a really important part in the story if they handled him right. Um, I think they could do something like making Superman like rethink his actions if what he's doing is really right, because he has a son and he has to be like a role model. And I know he's not that popular, but I think he would become a lot more popular if he was put into Injustice 3. And especially, I feel like um, if Injustice 3 is really a trilogy, then Superman and Batman need to make amends. At least that's what I feel should happen at the end of Injustice 3. And I think Jonathan Kent could be the reason for why that happens. For me personally, I always felt like Red Tornado was just an underrated member of the Justice League. Like, he doesn't get that much attention. For me, what really put him on the map was the Brave and the Bold cartoon. I was very like interested and invested with the character of him during that show. I think there's plenty of material and backstory to give him in order for him to have a good role in the story for Injustice 3 if they were to add him in the story. His design would be very cool. They could do pretty much anything, really. They could go more of like the cartoon look from Brave and the Bold. They could do the Supergirl look, or just have like the traditional stuff, like traditional armored Red Tornado. And I think he would definitely have some really good gear opportunities as far as his whole character should go. And I think personally the most interesting thing would be the play style. He could like do things with tornadoes. He would maybe like have a character trait where he could fly around the screen, or like when he would do his back three, he would like move his arms in a fast motion to create like the tornadoes to like push the opponent away, or I mean something like that. There's all kinds of cool effects and things they could do with the character of Red Tornado for Injustice 3. So hopefully he gets added. And I just, like I said earlier, it would be really cool if he does get added, because he's a very like underrated DC Comics Justice League member. So if he were to be added in Injustice 3, I would definitely pick him up ASAP. Similar to Red Tornado, Metallo would have a lot of good design choices. Um, if you recall, he was a was sorry was a a background character in Injustice 1. He was that silver guy on one of the stages. I think that he is a really cool character, especially in terms of the look. That picture I showed was the Rebirth version, and I think he would have some really cool things to do with his moveset, definitely dealing with kryptonite. I think like his trait, for example, would be something with his kryptonite beams, like different levels of it. Like maybe level 1 would be like a small like kryptonite laser blast, or level 2 would be like a laser beam, or level 3 would be like a big like kryptonite laser beam or something. I don't know, there's something really special about his kryptonite that they could do in the game. And once again, similar to Red Tornado, I think his opportunity for gear and shaders would be fantastic. Like I said, the Rebirth design would be good, or they could do the silver look that kind of like they went with in Injustice 1. They could do like the silver cartoon look. They could do maybe like the like kind of half human, half cyborg, or half human, half Metallo kind of look. Or they could just go the Supergirl route and just do like pure human with a kryptonite heart in the middle of his chest. I mean, there's just so much potential for this character, so I don't see why we couldn't have him. And I don't think there's too many Superman villains within the Injustice franchise, so I would definitely like to see him. Honestly, I don't even know where to really start with this character. He has so much potential, and he has risen in popularity so much due to the Flash show. Um, I would really be interested in seeing like what they would do with the mirror gun and how they would incorporate it into the story with like the mirror dimension and all that. Um, I think his move set could be very interesting. I think he could have his gun and do kind of a similar back three that Adam did. Um, he could do something like he takes a little piece of a mirror and puts it behind him, and then like does a teleport or something. Some of his special moves might include like different types of parries. Maybe like he puts out a mirror, like a small little mirror, and the opponent touches it, and like something happens, like they get crystallized, like in the Mirrorverse or something. I think his gear would be very interesting to see. They could go with like more of an armored look, or they could go with like the new 52 look, or they could go with like the pretty much just any Mirror Master look. I think would be fine. I think he's a very solid character, and he's honestly one of my favorite Flash rogues, just because of like the mirror dimension and all that. So I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that we will get to see him within Injustice 3. Now that we're in the top 3, I'm like really hoping for these next 3 characters. According to leaks, Constantine is going to be in Injustice 3, but take that with a grain of salt. And I think he would be cool because we haven't seen many of the Justice League Dark members. I mean, the only ones we've seen is Enchantress and Zatanna, or Zatanna, however it's pronounced. Constantine's moveset would definitely be really cool because it would rely on his magic abilities. And I mean, he could still look really cool just by giving him his classic comic book look, like with the trench coat and the tie and like the messy hair and stuff. I think definitely his powers, though, would rely on the fire side of his magic, but I think they would have something with his character trait to maybe like he takes out like does like a little spell or something, and like a demon from hell like pops up and like possesses the opponent, and then you can like meter burn it and start doing combos off of that. Definitely, I would want Matt Ryan, who is Constantine in my opinion, to do the voice for him. That would be absolutely perfect, and that would just put the icing on the cake for the character. I just think Constantine is a really cool character, and I'm surprised he hasn't been in a game, at least as DLC yet. And I think there would be like some good opportunities for intro and outro dialogues because of the fact that he's very sarcastic, so I think that would be entertaining to see. So yeah, overall, Constantine is one of my favorite Justice League Dark members, and I really would like to see him within Injustice 3. For this character, it could really be either or. You could have a base design of Elongated Man, or you could have the base design of Plastic Man and have like Elongated Man as the premier skin, or the other way around. I would personally choose Elongated Man as the base design, and then Plastic Man as the premier skin. I say this because I just feel like his gear and shaders would be a lot more interesting than Plastic Man. They could go for like a casual look. They could go for the animated one where it's like half purple, half white, like the one I showed at the picture. His moveset would be absolutely amazing. He could, for like his back three, he could like stretch his arm all the way back and then like punch super hard. He could like shapeshift into certain things, like a little like helicopter, and start like flying around. Or I think that would be like a part of his trait. It would be like he would turn in to different shapes and things. There would definitely be many other things he could shapeshift into to hit the opponent. I just can't think of any. He would be a very fun character to play if he were added in the game. And I definitely think he would have a good relationship with the Justice League. Excuse me. If he was in the story. I personally think that I would like to really see the back and forth between him and the Flash because of the TV show stuff. And I know a lot of people might not like Hartley Sawyer's interpretation of Elongated Man, but I would personally like to see kind of like a goofier Elongated Man, like what they did in the TV show. And I kind of hope they incorporate that. And I just think that that would be very interesting for his intro and outro dialogues. Probably the best Teen Titans member, in my opinion, is Beast Boy. 90% of my friends have wanted him within this game, and he just has such a huge fan base. I mean, the opportunities for his moveset are just unlimited. He could do like a Rhino charge, or like some kind of like gorilla thing with like a back three. He could turn into a pterodactyl. He would definitely be the most fun character to play as. There could be a certain combination of moves that he could have with his character trait. A certain combination of animals. He definitely has some awesome humor, so that would be hilarious for the Clash dialogues and all that. I know he's dead, but Green Arrow was brought in, and apparently like he was dead in this world, and then he was, or something, or Black Canary, I can't remember. They could just bring in Beast Boy from another Earth. There's a ton of potential for the design. They could go with the red and white. They could go with the black and purple. I would prefer the black and purple. But they could have shaders that do the red and white, or they could have shaders that like reference the other members of the Titans. And then you could also like, just an idea for his gear, like you could change his hair so it's like spiky, messy, or like slicked back. Or some people I've talked to in the past were curious about what the character accessory would be. I think they would just stick with like a normal belt, kind of like Batman. I mean, the possibilities for Beast Boy are endless, and I just know everyone would love Beast Boy, and everyone would buy Injustice 3 specifically for Beast Boy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please let me know if you like this new format of videos, and if you have any requests for new videos, put them in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and like if you enjoy this content. And while you're at it, go ahead and smash that notification bell. Make sure to comment your favorite character down below and tell me why they deserve to be in Injustice 3. And that is it for me, guys. I will see you all on the next video. Stay safe, stay cool, and be fresh.